Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about pros and cons of personal versus funded accounts. I kind of wanted to label everything out, but before we start the video, it's 2025. You guys know all the YouTube stuff, okay? You know to hit the sub button, you know to hit the like button, you know that. I shouldn't tell you, you're not babies, so just go ahead and do it. Before we get into the video, let's always say thank you, God, for another great day filled with your blessings. And I'm grateful to anybody who finds this video, and I hope they find success. Amen. So let's get into the video. I am going to give you guys, at the end of the video, I'm going to give you guys what my recommendations are for what you should do. Now, everybody's different. If you want personalized help, click the link below, go to the mentorship, be a part of the program. I offer live tradings, one-on-one mentorship. Anything that you really need help with, I am here for you. That is the point of it. That is why I felt personally why I should start the mentorship, is because I felt like I wanted to do more, and I just was trading and making money, and I just had nothing else going on. I would just trade, make money, and call it a day. I felt like God wanted me to help people out, help them grow in their faith, help them grow in making money, and get you guys out of situations that, like I used to be in, where I was a full-time DoorDasher, barely making ends meet, struggling a lot, and now I'm here having big days. Today I finished the market about $4,000, and at the end of this month, I'm going to post an entire month on TradeZella, my entire TradeZella performance for the month, so you guys can see the good days, the bad days, and we're going to discuss it. So make sure you guys stick around, and yeah, let's get into this. So personal account, we're going to go personal account first, right? Personal account, you can make money, withdraw immediately. That was one of the best things that I loved, which was I could just make $1,000 on my account, hit the withdraw button, and I got paid immediately, right? Depending on your broker, of course, but with my broker, I got paid literally within like 5 minutes. No rules. Technically, this is a bit of a white lie. There are rules. You set the rules, though. There are no rules as in the funding account side. If I want to, if I've got a $100,000 real account, I can risk, $5,000 trade, $10,000 trade. I can risk whatever I want. I can take as many trades as I want, but you do, and there are also no limits, meaning that I know Apex recently implemented a rule that you can only do 1 to 5 risk to rewards. With this, if I hit a 1 to 10, if I hit a 1 to 20, great, good for me. I'm happy. I've made even more money opposed to the Apex side. I don't know about any other prop firms if they do that. I think Apex is the only one. You're able to trade any style. That was a big one. When I first started trading, the way I got profitable was actually by DCAing, meaning I would add to my losers. I still do it today, actually, and it can be great, and it can also destroy an account if your account's not big enough. If you're trading with a small account, DCAing is very rough unless you're doing like, micros or something like that, where you're risking like, okay, I'm down like $50. I'm just gonna average into this, and hopefully this thing tanks, right? If you have a big account, you could lose 10, 20, 50 grand in a single day by DCAing, because the market could, like yesterday, just keep going up and never stop. So pros and cons of that as well, but that is what helped me. And you can trade any style. I know there are people who are negative risk to reward traders, meaning that they will risk $1,000 to make like $100, but they have like a 90% win rate. So that's a nice thing too, is that there is no really trading style. As long as you are profitable and you know that you can make money, then great, God bless, make money. And then the last thing here for the pros is no stop loss or TPs, and you can hold your trades. I have done it before, like I said in the past, especially when I was DCAing, I have did no stop losses. I would just enter trades, and if that trade went against me, I would wait a little bit, and then I would add again, and then I would add again, until finally I either would go break even, or I would be in somewhat of profit, close the trades out, and call it a day. I don't really recommend doing it now, especially when you have days that just the market can rip up like 200 points and never come back, and you're like, oh, good gravy. But yeah, so these are the pros. Like I said, the pros are, so far with the personal account, is that you can trade however you want. You can pull out money whenever you want. As long as you have an edge and you are profitable, personal is a great option, right? And that's pretty much all I trade now is my personal side. We'll get into that actually, but yeah, so There are a lot of pros with personal. Now, the cons with personal, though, for some people might outweigh the pros. And I know a lot of people here on YouTube who trade live. They're pretty much just funded traders. They do not have any money in their live accounts because they feel like they don't want to risk any money. They'd rather risk a prop firm's money. And if they blow an account, then oh well, so be it, right? So the cons with personal are you need to have a lot of capital. 20K or more, typically you can have. I know people do trade with like 5K, like little baby accounts, and even 20K is considered pretty much a baby account. You do need a lot of capital. I think you need more than 20 personally. I know some people trade with like 5 and they're just trying to make a couple $100 a day. That's great. It's up to you. Like I said, you just need a lot of actual liquid money, and you need more than 20 if you think about it. If you have, let's say you have like 20 grand in your bank, you should not deplete your entire bank account to put it in a live brokerage account unless you're so confident in your edge. You have all the data, you've been on, whatever trade seller, you've been journaling for months and years, and you're like, hey, listen, I've got a 87% win rate with this strategy in all markets and bull markets, bear markets. I have years of data, whatever it is, then fine, do whatever you want to do. But just for me personally, I would never drain my entire bank account of, you know, if I have 20, I'm not going to put a whole 20 in there. I would put maybe like 5, risk maybe like do one contract of NQ at a time, maybe even go down to the micros if you only have a 5K account. So, but that's up to you. Another con is more stressful, way more stressful. When I switched from funded to personal, the amount of stress is vastly different. You have to be more picky with your trade setups. You have to risk or losing an account. So you do have the problem is you can blow an account, of course, on personal, and you have to think about that is your own real money. You have to be okay with losing that real money, and you need to know when to call it a day. I put that in the con because there are days like on prop firms where I would just keep going. I'd be like, you know what? I've got a 150K account. I've got a few of them or whatever, how many of them I had at the time. I'm just going to, risk the like 2,500 or 4,000 for the full thing to pass this account, or even just try to get closer to a payout, whatever it may be, right? The problem is the real personal con I have is the stress that your trading setup, your strategy might be a little bit off, or maybe you get wicked out by like a half a point at one point and you're like, wow, and then it shot up in my direction, and then you're afraid to take another trade. I should actually add fear to this. Yeah, I should add fear to that one. So fear as well as a con, because like I just said, you could be, this morning I took 2 break-even trades, then I took a loss, and then I took a win, and it's like, yeah, but if I wasn't good with the fear in the beginning and just knowing like, okay, I know like God's got it, I just got to keep holding firm, keep being steadfast in him, everything will be okay, trust in him, all of this will be fine, and it ended up being fine today. I was down quite a bit. I was down quite a bit of money to not make that much of it back, but I still was profitable today, and I thank God for that. But you do have to know when to call it a day. There is fear involved. You might have some people get anxiety. When I first started trading, I remember I was so like nervous to trade. Like I remember seeing, the number going up, the number going down, losing, putting $100 in an account and losing like $70 in a single day and being like, oh, because back then that's like all I could afford to lose was $100. But it is what it is now. So that's the con side. And like I said, if you guys got any comments or anything like that, leave them down below. I'm here to help you guys out. I respond to the comments. But yeah, so now let's go over to the funded account side. Funded account side, the pros are easy barrier to entry, and I mean stupidly easy. You could be a a funded trader with $15 nowadays. When I first started trading, now I'm not trying to sound like an old man, but when I first started trading and there really wasn't any prop firms, and then prop firms came about, I went to the prop firm side. And they were expensive. I mean, the Forex ones are like, I don't know how they are now. I haven't traded Forex in like 2 years, but when I first started doing the prop firm challenges, it was like $500, $1,000 for an account, and you had to have that money. Like, I remember I would put them on a credit card, and I would like try to buy 1 or 2 challenges a month, and then like pay them off and then do it again and like the rinse and recycle period, which I'll get to on the con side. happens a lot. But nowadays, you guys have where like Apex, Top Step, all these accounts, and I'm not funded. I'm not funded with any of them anymore. I don't trade with them anymore. I am not affiliated with them by any means. But they're very inexpensive. If you don't have 15 bucks, 30 bucks, 150 bucks to lose on an account, this is not the career for you. I know it's hard to say that, but it is not the career. If you cannot afford to lose a couple $100 a month, this is not it, because I'm going to tell you it only gets harder from here. When you go from a baby trader to a big boy trader, a big girl trader, it only gets harder. You start risking more to make more. You might have lower win rates because now you're trying to take, specific trades or setups. A lot of it varies later on. So inexpensive is great. There's scalability. That's actually how I became a seven-figure trader. Was I scaled into it? I would pass one account for, let's say, a 50K account. Then I would pass like 2 or 3 more, and then I pass 10 more, and then I was up to like 20 accounts. Then I would go to the next firm, and then I would do the same thing, and I'd rinse and repeat. And at one point, I had like 40, like 40 funded accounts. I think I had 40 funded accounts at one point. Maybe not actually. Hold on, I might take that back. Maybe I had like 20 or 20 something. I know for sure I had like 20, and then I had some other ones. So maybe like 30 altogether. It doesn't matter. But the scalability is really good because you could go from zero, right? You could go from zero in your account, a $0 account, and you could be a quote unquote like 7-figure trader, like a lot of them are now. And that's what I used to be. I used to be a 7-figure trader just from prop firms, not my own capital. I'm not a 7-figure trader in my own capital, but I used to be one just from the fact of I had like $2 million under management at one point. And it feels good because you're like, wow, I'm able to pass all these accounts. All this is cool. It's so great. I'm getting, you have like, you can get your payouts as long as the company wants to pay you out. And then, so scalability, great. You got low risk, very low risk. Once again, low risk, easy to barrier, inexpensive, kind of all the same point. Low risk is that if you blow an account, what are you losing? 15 bucks, 50 bucks, big whoop-de-doo, you buy another one, you try to pass. Now, if you're not profitable and you passed on sheer luck, that the market just ripped up in your direction, you caught like 50 points, and you did a one-day pass, then great, I'm sorry, did I say great? Yeah, it is great that you passed it, but the problem is then you might have to worry about like, oh no, I got to do it again. But the risk is so low that all you have to do is just not go completely tilted. Like, don't completely tilt and blow your whole account. Don't completely go out of whack and blow the whole account. So like I said, low risk, which is great. Blowing accounts doesn't matter. I never, when I used to trade for funded accounts like full time, I actually did not care about blowing an account because I just knew like they were like 20 bucks, 30 bucks, 50 bucks. Who cares, right? I made money. I'm able to do it. I'm able to pass them again. Doesn't really matter. I'll blow them. Now, the only time I would argue that, and I highlighted this here in parentheses, is it depends on your payout. If you are close to payout for your first ever account or maybe your 5th account or whatever, and you blow it, then it stings a little bit, but that you got to use that stinging pain as a learning tool. Everything that you do in trading should be used as a learning opportunity. So if you blow an account, don't sweat it. Just buy another one if you have the ability to, or save up some money, buy another one, pass it again, take your time. You don't have to rush. You don't have to pass these accounts in one day. I'm going to make a video on that as well. And then becoming a 7-figure trader is a lot faster and easier. Like I said, my point is scalability. And becoming a 7-figure trader, even a 6-figure trader. I remember the first time I went from a 50K account, then I went to a 100K account, then I went to a 200K account. And then since 200K, I was just like, all right, gun ho. And I ended up getting to like 2 million in like about like a month or two later or something like that. Maybe a little bit longer, but pretty fast. I went from like 50K to like 2 million essentially in less than half a year. So very cool to do that. And then last but not least, on the funded, it is the cons. You do need to have an edge in the market. You have to have money to lose. Granted, it's not the same amount of money as your personal, so don't get it twisted. Personal, you need a lot more money, and then if you lose that money, that's gone. It's out of your bank account. It's out of your life. But if you lose a funded account, yeah, you lost maybe 15 bucks, 100 bucks, 200 bucks, whatever, right? So you still have to have a money. You still have to have a money. Wow, how foreign am I? You have to still have money to lose. And then what I talked about before about the cycle of funded trading, I call it the rat race in prop firms, meaning that you're so consumed with buying accounts, passing accounts, trying to get payouts, failing, buying accounts, passing accounts, trying to get, a payout, failing. It's this repetitive cycle, and I'm pretty sure prop firms know about it, which is why they offer accounts so cheap now, is because they deny your payout, then you blow the account, then you got to buy accounts again, then you got to pay for the what is it called? Activation fees. And those things are absolutely fake, 100% fake activation fees. I don't believe that for a second those things are real. But you will be living in the rat race of funded accounts unless you take it very seriously and you treat it as a real account. That's a whole nother thing. I think you should treat funded accounts as a personal account if need be, but that's up to you. If not, you could treat them like I used to. I would just beat them up, get to pay out, beat him up. If I lost him, big deal, buy him again, pass him again. I was stuck in this rat race for a little while. And if you're really bad or you're tilted and you're in the rat race, you are going to spend a lot of time and a lot of money. Like, I'm talking about thousands of dollars if you're in this rat race. Like, I've done it. I spent thousands of dollars. I remember seeing my credit card and being like, how did I spend this amount of money? I could have put this amount of money towards, a real account. And I'm glad I didn't at that time because I really wasn't ready for personal account. So the funded account did teach me a lot, and that should be a pro column, is that funded accounts will teach you how to deal with the anxiety, the fear, the highs and the lows, the how to manage your trades, what you need to do, how to master it, with all a very small, entry to barrier. Having to maintain all the rules, that's a big con for me. I could not stand having to maintain every single rule of these funded accounts, whether it's consistency, whether it's risk to reward, whether it's you can't trade news, you know, you do anything wrong, you can't DCA. There were so many rules, and it felt like I wasn't even trading because how am I supposed to trade? Like, how am I supposed to take my strategy? And then I've got to think about in the back of my head, like, wait a minute, I made 1,000 today, but I only made 300 yesterday. I don't qualify for a payout because now I'm over the 30% rule, the 20% rule, whatever it is. Can't stand all the rules because I just feel like you're not really trading, as more or less you're just trying to maintain rules. Denying payouts, had that happen many of times. That is a big pain in the butt. And then company closing down, which also happened to me last year with Fast Track Trading. I remember they closed down, lost the accounts, and I was like, cool beans, lost out like a bunch of money to buy those accounts. So that can happen as well. So you got to remember, there are pros and cons. If you guys want to take a screenshot of this, if you guys got any questions, hit me up. I'll answer your questions. Follow me on Instagram, do all that stuff. And then the last but not least, and I put it here so you guys can see it, is the hybrid model. This is actually what I believe as to be when you are really, really confident in your trading, when you really feel like you are growing in your trading. This model is probably the best until you have, let's say you have like 300 grand in personal money. Then I would just go to the personal account. Okay. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about before I give you guys my last 2 cents. This is not even, it's bothering my brain. Okay. Hybrid is essentially where you would technically start in the hybrid model that I did, which was I had funded accounts. Those funded accounts would then, so the funded accounts would then give me money, and I would put a couple grand into a personal account so that I could constantly get payouts and look at like, hey, I made $500 this week, I'm going to pull it out. I made $1,000 this week, I'm going to pull it out while I waited for, while I was trading or trying to pass accounts. And then you kind of do that where the funded stuff can fund your life, but also you can keep putting a little bit here and there every time you get a payout from your funded account. From your funded account, every time you can give it a little bit to the personal account, right? So it's the opposite of this. It's funded first, then personal here for the hybrid model. The one thing that I enjoyed about trading the hybrid model was that I could trade my funded accounts first, win or lose. If I was like, hey, I have these rules of like 2 losses a day, I'm going to take these 2 losses on my funded account, and then I'm going to move over to my personal account. And I did that a lot. I would take my wins or my losses on my funded accounts, and then I would shut down shop, and then I would go trade my personal account to try to make money that I can immediately withdraw. All the same pros and cons of both are pretty much here. I just wanted to give you guys that there is a way to do it that way. Um, that's what I did for a little while, and it actually does help out because you're still learning. And then you're able to now risk putting maybe a couple $1,000s in your personal account and trying to make money that way as well. So both ways, very great. And I just wanted to lay this out. There is no right or wrong, right? There is no right or wrong. There are people who, go right into personal. They have money. They are okay if they put 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand into an account and they want to just risk their own capital. Great. Good for them. There are people who want to go the easy way, or I shouldn't say the easy way, the inexpensive way, which is funded accounts. When Apex or any of these companies run a sale, they're like 20 bucks, 30 bucks, 50 bucks, whatever it may be. And you feel like, whatever. I can learn for 20, 30 bucks. And then, of course, there's the hybrid model, which later on, the hybrid model should be used much later on. You obviously have to have an edge already. You have to know what you're doing. You have to have risk structure. You have to know what you're looking for every day. You have to have your brain, and I mean this, your brain needs to be in control, not your emotions. If your brain is in control, you'll be fine. If your emotions are in control, it's like good luck. You will blow accounts and you will get mad. I've done that many of times. So just wanted to lay this out for you guys. If you guys have any comments, anything like that, leave them in the thing. I will look at them. I will try to answer them. I mean, I will answer them. There's only a few people comment here and there, so I appreciate it. Go out, be good. Have faith that this will work out. We have faith in God, and you need to have faith in yourself. I hope I'm saying that right. Like, God, we have to have faith in God. Through that faith in God, everything else will be granted onto us. I think that's better, right? That when you have faith in God and you put Him number one, you don't put the money number one, you don't put these accounts number one, you don't put your love life number one, you put God number one and you trust in Him, everything else will work out. He'll show you the way. You just got to sometimes listen. It's hard. You got to pray to God and say, hey, help me, give me your heart, give me your mind, give me your eyes and ears, help me discern what I need to do. And remember, Jesus died for you. He was resurrected for you. The Holy Spirit lives within you. Every day you should go out doing good, not to get good, but you should do good because Christ and God the Father has done good for you. He has given you eternal life. He has blessed you every day, and that you need to look at those blessings, wake up every morning and say, thank you, God, for another day. I will see you guys in the next video. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, go on Instagram, follow me on there as well. Go to the mentorship if you want to be a part of the mentorship, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.